That's the way I see it. I may not be the greatest fighter, but I believe I'm one of the greatest competitors of all time. I will find a way to beat you. Actually, I want to fight just to get another belt, just to add more gold to the legacy.
Kill, man. I'm a great white shark. I believe after this fight, I am going to be pound for pound king. I'm the only one with 2 belts, and I'm the only one with the gold medal. How about that?
Olympic champion, flyweight champion of the world, and now Bantamweight champion of the world. I am the greatest combat athlete of all time. And I just stole the title for the best pound for pound fighter too!
Hi guys, welcome to TopNewsage. Hit subscribe and press the bell icon to get notifications from TopNewsage. Today we're going to look at
Henry Cejudo 16-2.
Let's get started.
Henry Cejudo is an American retired professional mixed martial artist who's also former Ultimate Fighting Champion, Flyweight Champion, and Bantamweight Champion. He's only the 4th UFC fighter who holds the titles in 2 different weight classes and defends the titles in 2 different weight divisions. Henry Cejudo is considered one of the greatest combat athletes of all time due to his achievements in MMA and freestyle wrestling. He became the youngest American Olympic gold medalist in wrestling at the age of 21 by winning the medal at the 2008 Summer Olympics. After successfully defending his UFC bantamweight title by TKO over Dominick Cruz on 9th May 2020, he announced his retirement from professional fighting. In this video, we will discuss all the streak fights of Henry Cejudo. Let's get started. Henry Cejudo vs. Mike Poe 1-0. Henry Cejudo faced Mike Poe on 2nd March 2013 in World Fighting Federation Pascua Yaqui Fights 4. This was the very first professional fight of Henry Cejudo, for which he trained day and night. The fight just started smoothly, but Henry Cejudo was in a hurry to snatch his first victory. He won it at 1 minute and 25 seconds of the first round on strikes. Henry Cejudo vs. Sean Barnett 2-0. This was the second fight of Henry Cejudo Streak, which was held on 24th March 2013 in Gladiator Challenger Battleground. Henry Cejudo was very confident of defeating Sean Barnett after a successful professional start against Mike Poe. He only took 4 minutes and 55 seconds of the first round to win the second consecutive fight on IKO punches. Henry Cejudo vs. Anthony Sessions 3-0. Henry Cejudo appeared against Anthony Sessions in his 3rd streak fight, which was held on 19th April 2013 in the World Fighting Federation 10. Cejudo improved his streak to 3-0 with the 3rd consecutive first round stoppage. He won the fight at 4 minutes and 23 seconds on KO punches. Henry Cejudo vs. Miguelito Marti 4-0. Henry Cejudo faced Miguelito Marti on 18th May 2013 in Gladiator Challenge American Dream. Miguelito Marti already lost his first fight and looked like an easy opponent for Henry Cejudo, who only took 1 minute and 43 seconds to defeat him on TKO punches. Henry Cejudo vs. Ryan Hollis 5-0. This fight was held on 11th October 2013 in Legacy Fighting Championship 24. Cejudo got the full 15 minutes of the 3 rounds but couldn't get the result. However, Cejudo was dominant from the top position and was announced the winner on a unanimous decision. He was able to move his unbeaten streak to 5-0. Henry Cejudo vs. Elias Garcia 6-0. Henry Cejudo faced Elias Garcia on 31st January 2014 in the Legacy Fighting Championship 27. Henry won all of his 5 fights so far, while Elias Garcia also won all of his 4 fights. So fans were expecting a good fight as both didn't want to lose their first streak first. They showed a good fight throughout the 3 rounds. In the end, Henry won it on a unanimous decision. Henry Cejudo vs. Dustin Kimura 7-0. This was the UFC debut fight of Henry Cejudo on 13th December 2014 in UFC on Fox, Miocic vs. Dos Santos. He really wanted to make a memorable debut in the UFC by moving his unbeaten streak to 7-0. Fortunately, he was able to win it on a unanimous decision after 15 minutes of 3 rounds. Henry Cejudo vs. Chris Cariaso 8-0. Henry Cejudo gained a lot of confidence after winning his first UFC fight and appeared against Chris Cariaso in his next fight. This match was held on 14th March 2015 in UFC 185 Pettis vs. Dos Anjos, where Henry Cejudo won on a unanimous decision. After his win over Cariaso, he moved his streak to 8-0. Henry Cejudo vs. Chico Camus 9-0. Henry Cejudo faced Chico Camus on 13th June 2015 in UFC 188 Velasquez vs. Verdum. Camus did great work and nearly took down all the attempts from Cejudo. but the clinch work was too much for Camus. Cejudo added another win in his streak on a unanimous decision by winning it in 3 rounds. Henry Cejudo vs Jussier Formiga, 10-0. This fight was held on 21st November 2015 in UFC Fight Night 78, Gastelum vs Magny. Both of them were going to face each other in a title eliminator. The fans were excited as the number 3 ranked flyweight contender Jussier Formiga and number 5 ranked Henry Cejudo were locked inside the cage. After the 3rd round, Henry Cejudo snatched the victory on a split decision. Henry Cejudo vs Demetrious Johnson, 10-1. After winning the 4 consecutive fights in the UFC, Henry Cejudo appeared against the number 1 ranked Demetrious Johnson on 23rd April 2016 in UFC 197, Jones vs Cormier 2. Cejudo took the center of the cage without wasting any time and got a takedown at 1 minute and 30 seconds of the very first round. But Johnson pushed him off and got to his feet quickly. Unfortunately, Cejudo lost his first streak fight on TKO punches at 2 minutes and 49 seconds. Henry Cejudo vs Joe Benavidez, 10-2. This fight was held on 3rd December 2016 in UFC TUF Finale, a tournament of champions. Cejudo really wanted to go back to his winning habits, but he couldn't get the desired results. He lost another consecutive fight on a split decision. Joe Benavidez proved little more for him throughout the 3 rounds. Henry Cejudo vs Wilson Reis, 11-2. Henry Cejudo faced Wilson Reis on 9th September 2017 in UFC 215, Johnson vs Board. After losing the 2 consecutive fights, Cejudo certainly had some surprises cooked up for Wilson. His performance in this fight was so impressive that he single-handedly revitalized his championship aspirations after back-to-back losses. He took only 25 seconds of the 2nd round to win the fight on KO punches. Henry Cejudo vs Sergio Pettis, 12-2. This fight was held on 2nd December 2017 in UFC 218, Holloway vs Aldo 2. Cejudo was full of energy to end the 4-fight win streak of Sergio Pettis. Fortunately, he continued his successful return after back-to-back losses. Although Sergio Pettis gave him a little tough time, he managed to win the fight on a unanimous decision after the 3rd round. Henry Cejudo vs Demetrious Johnson, 13-2. Henry Cejudo faced Demetrious Johnson for the 2nd time in his streak on 4th August 2018 in UFC 227, Dillashaw vs Garbrandt 2. This was a good time for Cejudo to take revenge for his last defeat against him. Both tried their best throughout the 5 rounds of 25 minutes but couldn't get the results. In the end, Cejudo won the fight on a split decision and moved his streak to 13-2. Henry Cejudo vs TJ Dillashaw, 14-2. This fight was held on 19th January 2019 in UFC on ESPN Plus number 1, where Cejudo came out on fire and landed a right hand behind Dillashaw's ear. It looked like he had just decided to end the fight in minimum time. He took only 32 seconds of the 1st round to win the fight on TKO punches. He looked very up against TJ Dillashaw, where the referee stopped him from any further strike. Henry Cejudo vs Marlon Moraes, 15-2. Henry Cejudo faced Marlon Moraes on 8th June 2019 in UFC 238. Marlon looked very strong in the 1st round, and his powerful leg and head kick established him as a longer fighter than Cejudo. But Cejudo turned the tide and scored the finish with ground and pound in the 3rd frame. He won the fight at 4 minutes and 51 seconds of the 3rd round on TKO punches. Henry Cejudo vs Dominick Cruz, 16-2. This was the last of Henry Cejudo in May 2020 in UFC 249. After that win against Dominick Cruz, he announced his retirement at the age of 33. In his last fight, he defended the Bantamweight belt at 4 minutes and 58 seconds of the 2nd round. People know him for a perfect 16-2 professional record and an incredible resume of wins.
Hope you enjoyed our video. Please like, comment, and share it. See you all in the next one. Thank you. Bye.